Hello, let's do Netflix Puzzled Starstruck for February 6th. We'll start with the easy, then do the hard. This is called Pathfinder. All right, so the way you play this game is in each row, each column, and each colored region, we need to place exactly one star. And also stars can't touch each other, even diagonally. So these two couldn't be stars because they're next to each other diagonally. All right, so in this region here, it's going to use the rightmost column. We can't put another star in the rightmost column because the region needs a star. It's going to use it. But also we can't take these two because they both touch the entirety of this light blue region. So you can't take those either. This is a formation you'll see quite a lot. Here's another one. It's going to use the rest of the column. And also this one touches all of orange as well as this one, which we already did. The brown is the same. It's going to use that one. So with that brown looking into here, we actually get the light blue. That gives us the yellow. This is that formation that we're talking about, where we do those. Now there's only one left in red, if you believe it. All right. I don't know why you wouldn't. One left in green, one left in brown, orange, and dark blue. All right. Cool. It's a semi plonker. If you have to if in order for it to be like a quick solve, you kind of have to notice the brown forcing the light blue right away, which then gets you the yellow. But I think you might still have to notice that single in the red, which requires a little bit more thought, but really it's not so bad once you know your formations. All right, so that's probably like I don't know, 30 to 45 seconder, maybe a little less. I don't know. All right, trimmed areas is our hard. Let's see how hard they made it today. So I'm immediately noticing this middle column must use the star for our dark blue. There's going to be a star placed in there, and that's going to be a star for dark blue. We kind of have two separate areas going on here. Let's get some of the gimmies, that and that. That uses the rest of this column. This uses the rest of that column. Any gimmies over here? Yeah, this one touches all green. This touches all yellow. What else do we have going for us? 1, 2, 3. It feels like we're just going to stick a star in the middle there, but I can't prove that. If you were vibe solving, it is quite possible to vibe solve these. You can just like say, it feels like there's going to be a star there because it would do a lot. So you just place the star and you just see if it works. And if it does, you solve the puzzle really quick. But I don't really find that very satisfying because you didn't get to learn all the logic. Brown is going to take out of here and here. They all touch what's left in brown. So this is down to 3. Oh, so now green and yellow line up. So we can remove those two. One star will go in green, one star will go in yellow. So there's no room in there. This is just down. Okay, so now yellow and orange use these two rows. So I was wrong about where that star would go. We would have learned pretty quickly that that was broken. So we can remove from all of these because of what's left in red. Okay, so just got a bunch. What can we do with this? Okay, so we've got 3 regions here using up the bottom 3 rows, right? I guess demonstrating this does help people who are newer to these kinds of techniques. But if we just look at what's below this red line, it's 3 rows. So we know there's exactly 3 stars. We also know that one of the stars is definitely coming from this blue. One of them is definitely coming from this orange. And one of them is definitely coming from this gray. That's 3 stars. So we can't put stars there. It's not going to work. We don't have any left. Now that this is down to 3, that actually takes out of here. That touches what's left in this dark blue. Does that help anything? Not really. Some things I'm noticing, like if you get a little stuck, just notice certain like powerful stars. Like this would be a powerful star. I'll just write this out for you, what I'm looking at in my head. Because it sees these 3, right? So it would force a star here as well, which sees these 2, which would force a star here, which sees these 2, which forces that star. So that actually would resolve this whole top right area. So that's probably what happens. And then this would be forced to be our star in dark blue. But it doesn't really help us down here. So if this is a separate puzzle, that's probably the solution. They don't really connect to each other anymore at all. There's 2 separate puzzles. So I think that's the solution to this puzzle. So let's figure out why. So a star anywhere else. We need to be careful that we don't. I guess we kind of split it in half also like this. We've got 2 stars down here and 3 stars up here. So I don't think we have too much trouble. And then we also split it in half this way. I don't know why I can't see the solution here. I mean, I don't see why it has to be the solution. This star. Okay, so this star here, if we look, takes out of here and here. So it forces that star, which takes out of these two, which forces that star. And I'm noticing that that forces this star and this star. Wait, does that also another solution? I'm a little bit confused. Because that's a completely different solution that seems to work. But I don't think solving down here is going to help. Let me see if I can solve down here. Maybe there's something obvious to do. Yeah, these 3 take out of here. These 2 now take out of here. Because if you'll notice, this touches it and this shares a row. And now that this is down to the 2 formation, that's out. Places a star there, places a star there, and a star there. So this was a completely separate. Notice it didn't affect this at all. I don't see how it could have. So we need to figure out like why one of those solutions I did was wrong. So let me look at this other one again. We had here, 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 and here. None of them are touching. Okay, and then the other one I had was here. That's gone. That's gone. That's gone. Here, here, here. Aha, yeah, that doesn't work because it touches this guy. So we need another star here. Now we have 2 touching stars. That's no good. So can I reduce that down to something more manageable? Because that's just basically try and guess and check isn't. I mean, it's technically logical, but it's not so fun. Maybe there's like a row or a column that's gonna enlighten us here. But it really feels like an interaction there. That is there something about. Okay. So we know we're going to take a star down here somewhere. Let's think about this a little bit. We also know that. Okay, that's not necessary to talk about. What I'm thinking about is just in general, this star here takes out of here, and I don't know if we're allowed to do that. No, we're not. So I don't think you can do this without like some look ahead. I think you kind of have to like look at the consequence of certain stars, but at the very least we can say this takes out of these 2. Okay, no, sorry. There is a more direct thing to say, which is this row needs a star here or here. This will touch both of them. So that can't be in. And now these 3, this sees those 3. Oopsie. This sees all 3 of these. And so now this points up. That gives us this star. Gives us where we saw the brown. Gives us the orange. Gives us the yellow. It took me way too long to see that row. I should have scanned the rows and columns a bit more carefully because I was looking for that, but I just skipped over it, I guess. But yeah, the key thing was the 2 left in this row here eliminated from there. And that's kind of what I kept running into. All right, cool. Well, how'd you do?